we have here is a 38-inch Hunter R&M or Robbins & Myers original in bright brass and with solid oak blades. This is also the Reverse-aire form. When Hunter Reverse-aire, or not when Hunter Reverse-aires, when all originals were new, blade sets were sold separately. They had the option for oak blades with antique brass or bright brass irons. The oak blades, I can only imagine, cost extra. So, yeah, solid oak, Reverse-aire. You can see it is the new tag. This fan dates to 1983. So, yeah, you also might notice that it has an isolation ring, which hangs loose, sitting on rubber bushings, or grommets. So, yeah, this was 83 and 84, I think, were the last years for Reverse-aire irons. Actually, 85 was. I think they were using up old stock. But anyway, this fan dates to 1983. It's in okay condition. The problem here, and you'll see it in a second, is this. Starting on low. Now that is the cyclic buzz of doom. Basically, that's the sound of magnetic flux in the motor. It's meaning basically what this is that the rotor is off balance. It's off kilter. It's not quite aligned properly with the rotor or with the stator. So, you're probably wondering, how did it get like this? Why does it have this cyclic buzz? Now, this doesn't come from the factory. This is a bearing issue. I suspect, or I strongly suspect, that the previous owner of this fan ran it dry its entire life without oil. Now, in the instruction manuals, they say failure to lubricate motor properly will result in permanent damage to motor, and this is what happened. It ran without oil and it wore down the motor shaft, which means there is lateral play between the rotor and the shaft, which means it now has this cyclic buzz. The only way to truly repair this is to press out the old shaft and put in a new one, have a new one made. The easier way to deal with it, however, is to use a thicker oil. In this case, you'd probably want to use 30, like SAE 30, 30 weight oil, heavier than the SAE 10 it requires, normally. And that's kind of unfortunate because brass 38-inch Reverse-aire original with oak blades. Yeah, it's a nice combination and a relatively sought-after one at that. Anyway, let's go to high. Hear the buzz a bit more here. Now, as I mentioned, this fan is Reverse-aire. With the Reverse-aire irons, with the smaller configuration, it is no longer a 36-inch fan, but now a 38-inch fan due to the longer, larger nature of the Reverse-aire irons. Now, the problem with the Reverse-aire irons is they already weigh a ton. The irons, they weigh a lot. They're heavy. This motor is already a bit underpowered. It was never really designed for wood blades, but for aluminum blades with low pitch but would allow for high speed. So in other words, this motor is geared for high speed and low torque, and the blades that are on it aren't helping it. And the irons are making it even slower. So, performance with the Reverse-aire model is really below average. Just because it doesn't run as fast. Normally, shaft wear, you see that with antiques, which have run for years and years and years, sometimes without oil, sometimes with, but either way the shaft wears down after a while. Not with a fan that is only 35-ish years old. 34, 35 years old. That's a bit premature for a fan of this age. So, in other words, that sucks. Let's see if I can... Maybe not. Alright. We're going to see what we record here. Reversing the blades. Okay. Now, you see the fan in its updraft configuration. And like the 52-inch Reverse-aires, it has a much steeper shaft, or not shaft, a steeper pitch in the updraft configuration. This pitch is probably about 14, maybe 15 degrees max, whereas the normal pitch is about, I want to say 10.5. Something along those lines. And now, the performance, like I was saying before, the motor is already underpowered. So with the blades reversed like this, let's see how it does. Starting on low. You can already see it's running considerably slower. Now the low is more normal for its size. Because two-speed originals generally are a bit fast on the low speed, and low is more akin to medium on a normal fan. Whereas this is more, normal for its size. Anyway, let's see what high is like. Now the 36-inch motor is very buzzy, not really moany, but buzzy. And this buzz is why they introduced the isolation ring to help reduce, noise, to keep the buzz from resonating through the blades, or the vibration, I should say. And when they went PSC with the motor, when they redesigned it in '84, this was no longer an issue because that motor was inherently quieter than the shaded pole. So, the fan is modeled 22290, 22290, which is the bright brass 36 or 38 inch. Let's turn it off. So yeah, the performance there. The high speed was more like a medium or a fast medium on any other fan. So performance definitely suffers with the Reverse-aire irons. With the 36-inch adapter irons, however, they weigh far less. And while they also have a steeper pitch in reverse, they still perform better all around than with the Reverse-aire irons. I should have kept the old design for this motor size, because it really is better. And it just uses a click stop. There's no push and then turn. You just turn it and it falls into place. But anyway, what you've seen here today, again, was a 38-inch Hunter R&M Original, bright brass with Reverse-aire and oak blades. I hope you enjoyed.